Okay, so I am going to work on tonight some heart cards, some cards from the heart. I'm going to use these. I'm going to start with paint, and using my beloved chalk paints as really my favorite paint to work with. And I'm going to plan to use these three colors, but sometimes my plan changes as I go along. So bubblegum, pixie dust, and very berry. And I chose these because it's kind of a light, a medium, and then a bit of an accent color, but I think they'll go well together. So I'm actually going to start off with some of my dark color. And while I plan on making very small cards, maybe artist trading card size, I'm going to do the whole sheet and then cut it up. So that way I'm creating several cards all at once. So I'll start with some of that. And I'm just going to go back and forth, and that will give me one color to start with. Now, if you've never done this type of technique before, this might look like, she's going to make a mess. And actually, I will make a mess, but I've done it enough times that I know it'll come out to something in the end. So don't give up on me yet. So I just go one direction and then the other. I don't do diagonal. I purposely just go up and down and then sideways. And it's looking pretty dark, so that's where this lighter color will come in. And I'm going to concentrate on more of these areas where I have no paint yet. Kind of think about getting more in there. Probably should have put my color a little closer to the edge, but that's okay. I can do that on the next round. And you see how that just changes things right up. It just lightened everything right up, but I do like those dark colors peeking through from the background. And I do want to cover up my white paper. For this kind of a project, I'm wanting full coverage on my paint rather than having some white show through. So I'm just going to concentrate on covering up those areas that didn't get much paint. And a little bit here. And now we're going to lighten it up again because I actually like it with the darker colors in the background and then the foreground lighter. But now you've seen it go back and forth between light and dark, so you can see how easy that is to switch it up and get the color combination that you prefer. Now, do I have it too light? Possibly. So I want to just have touches of dark in there. So I'm going to put my paint off to the side rather than right on my project. Get some on the brayer, and then I'll just touch here and there. And then it goes on in a much lighter, just doesn't go on as heavy. So that's another way that you can add your paint and have a little bit more control over how much goes onto your project. And maybe I'll do just a touch of this one. And then that's probably gonna finish her up. So I'm just gonna do a little bit there. There, and I like that. So I've got a nice background paper for it. Then the other thing I'm gonna do is put some little hearts. So these are gonna be my accent pieces on top. So I'm actually going to do these out of paint as well. And so I need another piece. I want it to contrast yet match. So I think I'm going to mostly go, maybe I'll start off with a light and then build up dark on top of it. So we're doing it kind of the opposite, maybe. Anyways, we'll see what happens. Basically just getting rid of my white there. And then I'm going to accent it with this dark. Whew, that was a lot. Okay, I don't need that much. I do want it darker, but it didn't necessarily need to be that dark, but we'll go with it. Now, how's that going to coordinate on there? Kind of, but it might just need just a touch of this or a touch of the lighter. Not sure, so we'll experiment a little bit. I think that helps it to match the other paper. That goes pretty good on there, but maybe I'll just put some of this as an accent, just to knock it back slightly. There, so it is still nice and dark, but not quite the same shock. So I think that'll work. Maybe I'll go a little darker since I've got the paint on here anyways. Oop, getting a little wild. Okay, I think that is going to work just nice. And because I'm going to stamp on there, I'm going to take my heat gun. Chalk paint dries pretty fast. But I'm just going to make sure there's no dampness left on there at all. And then I'm going to use, better put the lids on my paints, I'm going to use this archival ink because that will be permanent. I often do that when I'm doing mixed media, just because once I stamp this on there, I don't want it to smudge. So in case I decide to put any other kind of wet medium on top of this, I know my stamped image is not going to move on me. So I'm going to do, oh, geez, that was loud. Do some of this heart here, and I'm not worried about getting, I'm actually avoiding this side printing and design because I'm going to cut out just the heart. That's what I want, is just that heart. So I'm going to stamp that right on top of the paint, and let's see how that comes out. Oh, I went right off the edge of the page. Okay, so next time I'll be a little more careful. Okay, now I'm going to start thinking about my, well, we'll cut these out. And I'm even going to cut out this one where I stamped it right off the edge, because if I overlap another heart there, I can salvage that. And now I'm going to stamp this second heart design, which I also plan on cutting out. So we'll see what happened with my idea. I thought I could do something like that for you. So I got my background. I'm going to put some little row of music notes across there, one end right to the other. Then I'll glue in my heart. And this one I'm going to pop up. Oh, and I forgot to do my little stenciling. Okay, so this one will be unique. Won't have the stenciling on there. And there's my little for you. Oh, okay, so I have a few here that I've got to that stage. Now I want to put these enamel accents on there, which is a little bit different than pearls. It tends to flatten a bit more, I think, than pearls do. There, I'll just put 3 little dots on there. I think that helps to liven it up a little bit, gives it a little accent. Those are getting a little big, but that's okay. Whoa, and they've got to set aside and dry. Yes, I put them right in the other ones. Okay, I'm squeezing out too much stuff because I want them smaller than what they're coming out. These are just little cards. They don't need big dots. Those will settle down. Okay, so might as well get into production mode here, right? Let it go a little faster. And then I also want to put this down the side. There, adds a little bit of a accent to it. This is a fun process. I love mixed media, and this way I get to make several little projects. I'll feel like I've got a whole stack of things done. There, I'm liking that. Now I'm going to end up needing some more hearts, right? But that's okay. Oh yeah, I want to ink the edges of these. Lots of inking. That way I get lots of ink on my fingers. Oh, maybe I did ink those already. I did too. Okay. this one, because I only have one flat edge there, we'll go the other direction. We'll put it like this. And we'll put this one so that it covers up that edge. There. Works for me. And then some little black dots. I kind of like those little black dots on there, just finish her off.